Normally, I don't really enjoy MMOs all that much. There's just something about the lengthy time requirements and most importantly, the grind that is required to progress in these games that kind of puts me out of the game experience. More often than not, I just don't bother with them, but sometimes I do make exceptions. I mean, you already saw the title of the video, so you know which game I'm talking about. Once Human was definitely one of those games that captured my attention really quickly. As a fan of everything SCP and Lovecraftian, and especially the Stalker franchise, a game that is set around capturing essentially anomalies or deviations as they're called in the game, was definitely a setting that I really was interested in, pretty much right off the bat as soon as I saw the first trailers. So despite it being essentially an MMO game, I still decided that, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. And you know what, I was pleasantly surprised. I was honestly surprised at how actually enjoyable it was. I definitely enjoy building a base. As you can see, I have a lovely household for myself here. It looks good. It gives you a lot of options, a lot of freedom to build, although I'm hoping that they will expand upon it further on later into the lifetime of the game. But for now, I'm quite pleased with it. So despite a lot of the complaints that you've no doubt noticed on the internet around, let's say, the people misreading the TOS, or the main issue that people feel is part of the game, the wipes, I still decided to give this game a try. And again, I was pleasantly surprised. I definitely had fun in this game, and I highly recommend it to other people to try it out, at least for a little bit. Again, this is not necessarily the worst thing about this game, as some people on the internet are claiming it, because honestly, I feel that the game has a different, entirely, completely different issue that a lot of people are just ignoring. And that issue stems from the way the developers disperse content. Now, what do I mean when I talk about dispersal of content? Well, the answer is pretty simple. This is a live service game after all, which generally means that the developers are not going to release all the content in one go. That simply will not make sense to them. I'm going to draw a lot of comparisons between this game and, for example, Fallout 76, which is another game that I've been playing. And since the general premise of the game, mechanically speaking, is very similar, there's a lot of comparisons you can draw and see which one did which better. And now, what this feels right now is that the game might, just might, sorely lack in the content department. Now, again, I don't know the plans. I don't know what the developers have in mind. This is just an observation of what they've shown us right now, and if it doesn't change, I feel like this game just might die in a couple of weeks after the first wipe. In fact, I'm not sure if a lot of players will even stay until the first wipe, because as it stands right now, I feel like the developers are making a big mistake, because it comes down to this: are they holding content back? If they do, I feel like they're making a mistake. Do they not have content? Well, that's bad. If they don't have the content to show, that's really bad. Let me explain. I will show you. Now, for those of you who are unaware, this is the format of how the season is gonna work in this game. You got Phase 1, which lasts for a week, Phase 2, which lasts for a week, Phase 3, and so on and so forth. It might change. They didn't say that it necessarily is gonna be 6 weeks long, maybe it might be 5 weeks or 4 weeks long, depending on what they had in mind for the phase. But essentially, this is how it's gonna work. You have phases, and each phase unlocks more and more of the map and content and so on and so forth. Now, what is this problem I'm talking about? Let's have a look at Season 1. Essentially, in Season 1, we only had 3 initial zones. We only had 3 initial zones, which is the beginning zone, this zone, and this zone. We got 3 zones, that's it. We were limited to this within essentially a week, the first week of playthrough. Now, I've had a bunch of stuff to do. I had the main quest line to complete, I had a lot of side activities, the side quests, I needed to grind for gear, explore, unlock the map, and so on and so forth. By the time I was done with essentially Phase 1, I only needed to wait like 2 days. And then you can see actually what it unlocks. The Starlight Harbors, Mysteries of the Great One. Yeah, the story goes on. You can continue the main storyline. The unlocked Prime War, all areas unlocked, more activities unlocked, and so on and so forth. The rest of the map was essentially unlocked. This area, and this area. We got 3 new areas, all of them like with higher level requirements, so essentially. So I essentially had a lot to do. I could continue the storyline, do a lot of the other side quests, unlock new gear, explore new areas, unlock more of the map, so on and so forth. Then came Phase 3. Now, if you're reading right now, you might notice that it only unlocked hard mode. Did it unlock new storylines, new side quests? No. Did it unlock, well, anything else besides hard mode? No. You can kind of see where I'm going at, right? If we look at Phase 4, it unlocks Pro mode. And some more prize pools, but does it unlock new content? Doesn't seem so. Does Phase 5 unlock more content? Only the Nightmare mode, more bosses to kill. You can kind of see the problem, can't you? Like, I'm not the crazy one here who thinks this is a problem, right? All we get essentially for the next 3 weeks is a boss to fight at a higher difficulty, and it doesn't look like they're gonna add a lot of content. Like, I'm hoping that they're holding something back. It's entirely possible and entirely realistic that this is the case. But from appearances, it seems that this is the only thing they're focusing on, a big massive PvP event. And if there's something more, they're not really announcing it or advertising it. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping that this is exactly the case. But if the only thing we're gonna get for the next 3 weeks is just more of these essentially raid bosses, I'm gonna be quite disappointed. And this is not even a criticism of their main content. The problem is that so far they haven't really added much outside of the main quest lines or even side quests. I'm talking about, for an example, all the different events that you could find in, let's say, for example, Fallout 76. You have a multitude of different events that provide you different rewards, and so on and so forth. The problem that so far, all the events, all the side activities and everything essentially provides you the same type of reward. Which, I'll be honest, feels a bit of a letdown. Because I'm already seeing the effects of it. Which is what I'm talking about. Most people don't even bother. Which is honestly quite sad. Some of the events could be fun, but more often than not, people just don't bother doing them. Because there's literally no difference between this reward from this event or a reward from that event. The only other exception to the rule is one event, which is basically PvP, and all you gain in it is a currency that you can use in a special store, but well, there's not a lot to buy with it. So I've already noticing that a lot of people just never bother with this event. I go to the event and I'm the only one participating. I mean, I'm not complaining, free currency for me, but events are supposed to be fun and engaging. You're supposed to want to be in events. In the meantime, all the other events, I also barely see anyone. And I'm not playing on an empty server, I have people all the time. There's at least like 10-15 people online at all times on the server, but I don't see them do any events. Ever. And I'm not sure how to feel about that. Like, it feels like it's a bit of an issue with the type of content the developers decided to do. So overall, there are maybe 4 or 5 events that you can do in this game. The problem, they all offer you the same, literally the same rewards. So there's no real incentive to actually do them. Which is a big problem in my personal opinion, is that, hey, for example, I can use Fallout 76 as an example. A lot of events offer you different types of reward. So when you don't want that type of thing, you can just skip the event. But some events, like, literally nobody ever skips, because you get extra rewards there that you otherwise will have to farm and work hard to achieve. I could give you a good example. In Once Human, one of the main resources you'll always want is acid. A good way to get acid is, well, essentially killing enemies. Now imagine if there was an event that gave you an impressive or convenient amount of acid. I can guarantee you that that event will be one of the most popular events in the game. People would flock to it. The entire server would go to this type of event. Like, no joke, everyone would go to it because everyone needs acid. One other resource that is at a premium is, pun intended, premium fuel. Like, you would want to get that resource, right? Why is there no event that actually gives you that resource? Like, there are multiple ways to get it. And more often than not, well, it's kind of annoying and time-consuming, and you require specific items to actually gain that resource. Items that you need to farm for, obviously. Now, if there was an event that gave you, like, not a ridiculous amount, but an impressive amount, I can guarantee that event would be one of the most popular ones immediately. Like, one of the main problems with the events is that they all offer you the same type of reward. There's no incentive to actually go out and do them once you actually are good on these type of resources, because there are multiple ways to gain them. It's not like you have to do these events to gain these resources, so it's not even incentivizing you to do it. You can gain these resources just by going around and playing the game, essentially. So what sort of incentive I have to actually do it? Well, the problem is I don't. There is no incentive. Now, I have no clue. Maybe the developers have some sort of hidden plan that they're just not announcing to the world, which is fair. It's more than possible. Maybe, just maybe, they are aware of this issue and are already working to fix it. I certainly hope that's the case, but for now, I can't help but worry. I kind of like this game. I definitely enjoy it, and I wouldn't want the game to actually falter and fail and die off like so many games have done before. So I'm just a little bit concerned. Now, couple that with the wipes, which a lot of people are still curious about. A lot of people giving it the benefit of the doubt. I give it the benefit of the doubt. I don't know how the wipes will work. I have no idea. So I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna play until the wipes, and if I really don't like what they achieved with it, I don't know, I might drop the game. I have no idea. I really hope that the wipes aren't gonna be as intrusive and disruptive as a lot of people think they will be. So I'm more than willing to give them the benefit of the doubt for now. But if there's no real content that's gonna be added to the game after the wipe, yeah, I feel like that's what's gonna be killing the game, not the wipes themselves. If they can't actually make every phase meaningful and fun, besides just adding a different difficulty level, I feel like that's gonna kill the game. The only substantial way to actually progress in the game is by unlocking various blueprints and upgrading them. Same with the armor and same with the weapon. You get to upgrade them if you have similar blueprints, or rather fragments. For example, I have this legendary assault rifle that I'm using, but do I have the fragments to upgrade it? No, I don't. I really don't. And the only way to get it is via the wish machine. And to use the wish machine, you need Starcrom, which is a rare resource that you can only farm once a week and maybe do various events that you can get it. Again, as I've mentioned, the Prime War, you get some Starcrom the first time you beat it. After that, you have no incentive to participate in these. No incentive whatsoever. Now, what if, and imagine that, what if it gave you a couple of fragments, randomized? Random fragments. Random levels, random fragments, whatever. That will incentivize people to farm these. That will incentivize people to do these a lot. And that'll keep players playing. You see what I'm talking about? That will incentivize people to stay in the game and keep playing it if you give them a shot at actually farming the things that actually matter to them, the things that they actually want. Because right now, the only thing you get from these chests is a bunch of fucking fuel, which you will use to kill the next boss and get more fuel, so you don't actually get anything unique. The only thing unique you get out of this is, yeah, the level 3 chest, which gives you access to the next level of the Prime War. As you can see, this is considered easy, level 25, but there's the hard difficulty, which is for level 35, a stronger boss. So you need to kill the weaker boss to get the stronger boss. Now, I don't know what you can get from the harder bosses. I'm not seeing anyone even attempt them, because I'll be honest, to me it feels like a lot of people just gave up on the Prime War. They just completed the Prime War for the main quest, and that's it. No one bothers. I've not seen a single person attempt the hard difficulty. You know why? Because the rewards are not worth it. It's not worth it. You just get more fuel out of it. What is the point then? Why are you attempting this? We just are not getting much. I don't know, maybe Phase 6 is quite mysterious. I don't know what it's gonna involve, but from Phase 3 to 5, which is 3 weeks, I'm not seeing a lot. Maybe they have some events where they will unlock further down the road in the next phase. Maybe they'll add more stuff to do. I certainly hope that is the case. But if they actually are not gonna add anything to these phases, I'm not gonna lie, I fear that it just might kill the game. People might just get bored. So yeah, this is essentially the video I wanted to make. I just wanted to voice some of my concerns, talk a little about the game. I kind of like it. I enjoy playing this game, and I feel like it has a lot of potential, and I feel like it's gonna be really, really sad if all this potential is just gonna be squandered. So I don't know, maybe the developers have something in the works. I certainly hope so. I'm not the only one who voiced these exact same opinions and concerns. And so far the developers seem to be the kind of people that actually listen to their community, judging by how they behave so far. So who knows, maybe they'll actually go ahead and do something about it. I certainly hope so. But for now, let's hope for the best. And I don't know, thank you for listening to me ramble. I don't know, I just love talking about video games sometimes, and hey, I hope you enjoyed listening to me. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all later.